so damn nerdy. I'll take you to the comic shop, I'll show you all the bills I drop. When I grab my Polish box, Wednesdays when the comics drop. Whoa.
I'll take you to the comic shop, where games are what I bought. I'll keep spending.
Hey guys, we're back to talk a little bit more about WonderCon and prepping for the show. If you've watched the videos from the last few weeks, I've given you a lot of images, given you some presentation or breakdowns on the presentations and panels there, and also given some information related to places of where to charge your phones, where to take breaks, eating, and so on. So we're going to combo this one a little bit and talk a little bit about some of the exclusives that I'm going to be keeping my eye out on at this show and some that you may be wanting to take a look at, and also a little bit about some of the autographing. Okay. So first off, in terms of exclusives, WonderCon doesn't have a ton going on this year, not as much as in years past, that's for sure. And in general doesn't have as much as some shows do. But that being said, there's still a few things to keep an eye on. And so a couple I'm not sure that I'm going to necessarily be interested in or not. I'm still kind of deciding where I'm going to want to spend my money at the show. But something you may want to take a look at. Number one, at the graffiti booth, which is 1001, they have the official WonderCon t-shirt, which has the Jim Lee design from the program cover of Superman. And so really cool looking shirt. It shouldn't be in too high of demand. A lot of times you'll find the WonderCon shirts will be left over at the end and it'll trickle into future San Diego Comic Cons. But that being said, if it's something you're interested in, I'd make sure to take care of it on the first day of the show that you're there. At the same booth, two more items that they have that kind of strike, I think, a wider array of interest. One is the Batman and Robin series, the Aardman Batman and Robin from the DC Nation blocks of comics or cartoon series in the mornings. It's limited to 2,000 pieces, and it's $39.95, and it's also at the graffiti design booth. I think, again, that'll be something that we'll see left around. I really would be shocked if those sold out there, but you never know. And then the other one is continuing with what they started out with at San Diego Comic Con, the small Green Lantern figure series. They'll have a Guy Gardner and a Lar Fleas, and that's $29.95, and that's limited to 5,000. And that's something, again, I think we'll see for a long, long time that they'll be moving. So you never know. I mean, they could sell out, but I don't think it'll be too much of a battle for any of those. And those are all at booth 1001, and that's Graffiti Designs. They have a few other comics there and things like that that you may be interested in. A Justice League of America exclusive cover and a Batman issue 17 official cover and things like that, but nothing that really strikes fancy too much to talk about. Another booth that is one to pay attention to in terms of exclusives, and this one I think actually will be a little bit more competitive, is IDW, because they're bringing some of their big artist edition books, which are very expensive but also go very fast. And so one to keep an eye on is Eisner's Spirit Artist Edition. That's going to be $300, and it's limited to 100. And those are usually pretty competitive and go pretty fast, even with that high price. If nothing else, the scalpers are grabbing them and flipping them on eBay. And then in that same vein, they have a Gil Kane Spider-Man Artist Edition, and that one is limited to $250, and it has a $250 price tag. And so that's all at the IDW booth. They also have some variant cover My Little Ponies and some Transformer stuff, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So they'll have a variety of different things related to exclusives for the show, but those will be the two that'll be the hottest topic, hottest price. Outside of IDW and the Graffiti Design booth, there's really not a ton. Zenescope has some stuff, Avatar have some stuff, Super 7 is one if you're into the designer toy area, a lot of vinyl figures and some really limited ones as well, but nothing really too big that's catching my eye, and all of these you can go onto the WonderCon website. They have a link right there for the exclusives, and you can check that out there. Real quick related to signings, so there are some big panels like Pacific Rim and some stuff related to Evil Dead and things like that, and they're going to have a couple big signings, which are very common at San Diego Comic Con and are not very common anywhere else, and so it's kind of nice that WonderCon has a few of these thrown in this year. Specifically, Evil Dead and Pacific Rim will be the two big ones, and right now the only information they're giving on those is that they're going to be group signings and to check in at the official WonderCon booth at 10:30 a.m. on Saturday. I'm guessing there'll be more information about that before we actually get to the show, and if not, there'll be some on that Friday. But keep an eye on those if you're interested. Those will be really busy, really competitive. It may be a situation where it's drawing a ticket, and if you get the red one, you're in, and you get the green one, you're out, or something like that. But if that's a goal, keep an eye on that. With those, normally the way they handle those types of signings, the same thing with DC. They'll probably have some specific to DC cartoons and some DC comics. Normally they give you something to sign, and so in cases like that, they may not want to sign anything else. So, for example, with Pacific Rim, I'll guess there'll be some sort of smaller size promotional poster, and that'll be the only thing Guillermo del Toro will sign. So, may not. There may be other options there, but that's a very common thing when they're trying to promote something specific, is that they give you a one-size poster. So it's nice you get something specific to the show, but at the same time, if you wanted to get something like your Hellboy poster signed, that's probably not going to happen. But you could bring it along if you want to try and see and ask when you get up to the front. Besides that, in terms of smaller autograph opportunities where they charge, there's the usual crew. If you're anywhere in the Southern California area, and if you're somebody going to WonderCon, unless this is your first con, you've probably seen all these guys before, the Lou Ferrignos of the world and the Peter Mayhews and so on. They're all great. They're all people, if you've not gotten their autograph before for 20 or 30 bucks, they're cool to get. As far as for me, they're things I've gotten and seen just about every show I go to. They're sitting there. Virgil will be there, some of the WWF or WWE stars, and so all things to check out there too if it's something you've not done in the past. In those cases, you'll be buying a photo, or you can bring something of your own, but in the end, they're probably going to charge you about that same price in that $20 to $30 range, somewhere there. So besides that, there's a lot of great exhibitors to keep an eye on. A ton of comics, a ton of old and new. If you look into the exhibitor guide and take a look at that floor plan, and I guess that's kind of where I'll close this, just last suggestion is to really take a good look at that floor plan, make sure you're comfortable where things are. Nothing should be too hard to come by, so you can take your time with that. My suggestion always with acquiring things at shows is if you see something you really want, buy it. If you see something you kind of want, put it on a list and come back and check in later, because there will be discounts as the show goes on. But if it's something you really want, you should buy it, because it could go fast. But if it's something that you can wait on, definitely come back. And so if you're looking at those, whether it's comics or action figures or what that you see lots of vendors having, there's really no reason to pull the trigger on it that first day. So I'll be getting into town Thursday night. I'll see you all out there in lines Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Tweet me at The Confluence if you have any other questions, and until then, we'll see you with more video this weekend.
Keep reading till the series stops.
You can have it your way. How do you want it? You could wait for the trader, you could back issue on it. Appeal rising as you go, head up to Dark Horse. Reading Dr. Horrible, rooting for bad hoes. I'll break it down for you now, baby, it's simple. If you reading X-Men, I'm reading X-Men. Witchblade, FF, Usagi Yojimbo, mainstream, indie, whatever you into. Got my eye on